Mining with a satellite dish, huh? But look, I'm always intrigued by different ways to earn passive income. Let's try this one out. I'm Bosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Today we're going to be checking out Geodnet and seeing how much money can we make mining satellites? I'll be honest, I can't help but to think of Geodude when I see Geodnet. So what does Geodnet do? Per Google and VonEck, utilizes cryptocurrency to bootstrap a network of GNSS global navigation satellite systems like GPS and correction services that substantially improve the accuracy of location data. Geodnet is apparently the world's largest RTK network, a Web 3.0 blockchain-based highly reliable RTK network using Depin principles. It enables a 100x improvement in position accuracy as compared to standalone GPS. Looking at the cryptocurrency coin associated with this project, GEOD, it is apparently committing a market cap of $20 million. Pretty high volume at $100,000. Where's it doing that volume though? Uniswap, Gate.io, Mexi, so decentralized exchange and then some centralized exchanges there. We can see good volume though on a decentralized exchange, which that makes me very happy to see. I love decentralized trading. It's generally better for everyone, right? So again, today's video is made possible thanks to Helium Deploy. They are doing a drop of Geodnet miners. They are no more expensive than ordering these miners directly through Geodnet. And when they do these drops, they have in-stock hardware ready to ship. And it's not a pre-order like you see with Geodnet and some others. That's really important because obviously some Depin devices were an absolutely terrible scenario. I ordered many miners over the years that I never received. And obviously others have unfortunately experienced that as well. So with this device that we got from Helium Deploy, which we are a proud affiliate of, it comes in, about $700. They have a rewards estimator. I encourage you to punch in your install location and see what it would estimate for you. This little Geodnet kit, honestly, it's kind of adorable. When you look at the pictures of it, I thought it was going to be way bigger, but then I pull out a dish that's the size of a cereal bowl. And we had already erected a tower with Colby and Dennis at BMA Crypto Division. And you may know those lads from our immersion installs. They're really cool guys. We've become good friends over last year. We head over there, and that's where we're going to be doing our Depin installs. We're going to utilize that tower that we previously built. So, we went to Home Depot, got some woody, and erected it. I know, it's starting to sound weird. But yeah, it's mounted next to the dry cooler. We pulled a Wi-Fi extender out there and run that so that if we have anything that's on Wi-Fi, then that's good to go. We have an Ethernet switch on the inside of the building that we can run Ethernet cables out to our tower of Depin, which that is a $50 TP-Link Ethernet switch that has PoE capabilities, power over Ethernet. Some Depin installs we have incoming because there's many more projects that we're deploying in this basically deep dive into Depin mining here that will be powered over Ethernet. But I guess I shouldn't get off track. It's very critical. The Geodnet has a USB-C power cable. And so you need to make sure that you can power this. So some sort of power brick, pretty much any power brick you could possibly have will be able to deliver the power needed for this. So this utilizes a Wi-Fi connection as USB-C power. So we've got power run out there, we've got Ethernet run out there, we've got Wi-Fi run out there. So at that point, all we had to do was take this bracket. Hardware that came with it was lacking, so we just grabbed some other hardware that we have on hand, things like wood screws and whatever else, and then we just go ahead and send it. And at that point, we just go through the install tutorial, right? Each of these Geodnets, they have a unique serial number. So you just take that, log into the device, and then get it synced up with your Wi-Fi. You have to type that in manually. Do not get that wrong, or it's not going to connect. It's not going to work. So bringing it back to the project, right? We look at the map, we look at coverage. You're going to want to do some research join the Discord server, connect with others, and you can look at your hex, right, and see if your area is available, or perhaps you would be better suited at maybe deploying at your brother's house or your parents or cousins or friends or whatever. Some unique things about Geodnet are going to be hex locking, right? And that's where a Geodnet miner secures the rewards of his hex, right? Check out their console and you can see all these hexes. Your hex may be locked or not locked. It's interesting you need to go in there and look at that if you're considering pursuing something like this. The owner receives an NFT representing that hex lock, and they earn full rewards regardless of other miners entering that hex. It's kind of like a early adopters reward. If the hex is not locked, rewards are split among all the miners in a hex. To lock that hex, that miner has to maintain rolling rewards rate of at least 98% for 30 days. Beyond that, there's also a super hex, which you'll see these giant blue large hex comprised of 7 smaller hexes. These super hexes have boosted rewards up to 4 times the base rate. The first miner in the super hex claims full rewards multiply regardless of hex locking, and subsequent miners earn less. So that brings you to the rewards of this, right? So the daily base rewards are calculated as 24 geodes times the rolling rewards rate. You need to sync it up in their console. The rewards are paid out on Polygon, which I found to be an interesting deviation from, say, launching their own blockchain, and there's pros and cons to that. But yeah, the deployment was a pretty easy and straightforward process. My miner's been up for about 8 days now, and it is connecting to 31 of 33 possible satellites, putting me at a 95% rolling reward rate. So that's something I would like to get this rate up, to get to that 98%, to get the NFT, to lock it down. I do have a competitor in this hex with me. His rolling rate is not good enough to get the NFT, but he could fix that, and then he could lock this down and basically achieve better long-term rewards than I possibly could. One thing that I really don't like about these location-based projects is how it reveals your location, where you are. You can also literally click a button in the console to click here to see the location in Google Maps. People do a lot of things for money. One thing, like for example, the competitor in my hex, it's on his house. It's in a residential neighborhood. And if I was so gung-ho on this, I could go over there with a baseball bat, crush his install, and then lock down my hex and get that NFT. I'm obviously not going to do that, but I could. In addition to their mining, they also have staking. But really, for the purpose of this video, let's keep it focused on the satellite miners, which is what these are. It's interesting, right? We've had wireless miners, we've had ASIC miners, we've had GPU miners, of course, CPU miners. Enter satellite miners. I would love to be mining Starlink personally. Those prices are ridiculous for Starlink, but alas, another day, another video on that one. I did just get the Starlink Mini too, which I'm pretty curious to try out. What I really like about the Starlink Mini plan, if you haven't been following Starlink, it's basically 50 gigs of roaming data. It's much like a hotspot. It's much smaller, but it's supposed to be good, reliable, and pretty good latency. But it's really that it's like $50 a month. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna be traveling this month, I'll subscribe for this month. Okay, I won't be traveling the next 2 months, I won't subscribe. As opposed to, say, like Starlink, that normally is billing you $120 to $200 a month, especially when you add in roaming data, perpetually. So to finally see a satellite crypto miner, it is intriguing. Each station uploads approximately 10 to 20 gigabytes of mined data per month. That's pretty substantial data usage. There's also a key factor with these devices that's not just related to installing them and like, okay, you're good to go. It must be optimized. Optimized creates stable, consistent, and more returns. When you're mining or running these Geodnet miners, you get the Geode token. And again, it's earned through mining as well as staking. Each miner receives up to 48 Geode token per day for a triple band miner, 24 Geode for a dual band miner before July 2024. The rewards since they wrote this have halved. Be nice to see an update here. So understand that only 24 or even 12 Geo tokens is going to be what's potentially earnable here as a Geodnet miner currently, and you'll also have a lower share of tokens compared to earlier adopters that were mining at 48 coins a day. You know, at best you're getting half that. So definitely some things to keep in mind. We look at their LinkedIn, we can see some names, some faces attached to this project. We can see people involved, right? This isn't an anonymous project, which is good. That's what I want to see here. So as it stands, right, there's over 8,000 miners in over 3,700 cities in 136 countries, and then the current R is over 1 million. So pulling this up on the Dune dashboard. I love Dune dashboards personally. Each month they're burning a lot of tokens, resulting in a huge cumulative USD sum of Geo tokens burned. So while this is absolutely inflating, they are integrating a burn mechanic. Per Depin scan, it would take 252 days to break even with an estimated daily earning of $4.38 and an average device cost of $550. I don't know how that's accurate because they're all the devices cost more than that currently. Their data here is a little bit different but similar. Right now we are earning about $3.37 per day, which brings us to about a 206-day break even. No other factors not considered there. That's a pretty low break-even period for a pretty small project. Is it worth it? Where is it going to go? Is it going to be a huge successful thing? Or many people will worry that this will just be the next Helium and they'll be stuck with a weird little dish on their roof. I don't know. I'm not here to overhype it. I'm not here to oversell it. But it's cool, it's interesting, and I can't help but have an affinity towards mineable projects and the use of and exploring different hardware types as ASIC mining becomes more and more and more an incredibly wealthy person's game, where the million and billion dollar mining farms are the ones that are winning and the small people are being pushed out of mining. Turning electricity and internet into passive income is an absolute dream and journey of mine. I'm Vosk on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Let's close this out in style with 10 seconds of tails, our resident Shiba Inu, and our newly promoted CDO, Chief Depin Officer. Let me know your thoughts, seriously, down on this one. Is it worth it? Is it a no way? Why? I'd love to hear from you.
When you let me, baby.